You're following the light. The light of Christ. And the gift that He has to give you. As Jesus was born and these guys, these shepherds got there, man, they looked at Him and they were just blown away, man. They're just, can I hold Him? Can I touch Him? Can we just be here with Him? He is so amazing. And you know what's really cool? You know, we sing the songs and stuff about silent night and holy night and how calm and how sweet it was. Man, you know it wasn't. You know those cows were just going nuts. You know all this stuff was stinking in there and all this other stuff. But I think at that very moment is when the silence came. When these shepherds looked down and said, man, the angel of the Lord didn't come to a lawyer. He didn't come to a doctor. He came to us, a common man. And that gift that God has for this earth is for the common man. It's for any man. But yet a common man is able to accept it and understand it. Because when the shepherds kneeled down and they looked at Him, they knew without a doubt that this is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. How amazing is that? So as Jesus began to grow as a young man, the Bible said that He went out and He would go to the temples and stuff and He'd start teaching all these smart people. And He would share God's love and what God had in store for things to come. He would sit down and He would learn and listen to what they thought and the rules and the laws and stuff that they had. And I think inside Jesus would just kind of sit there and kind of grin going, guys, it's not about the laws. It's not about all these rules. You're missing it. You're missing the gift. As Jesus continued to grow, he would hang out with his dad Joseph, and Joseph would show him, hey, look, son, this is what we do. We're doing a carpentry, and he worked with his hands, and he was a common man. A common man with a blood type of a Messiah. And that blood would be shed for you and me. But nobody knew that. As Jesus continued to grow, He would share the gospel, share the good news, and He needed help. So he began to grab up all these guys and says, man, you need to come with me. You need to help me out. You need to come and experience life and life more abundant. You need to turn right there what you're doing. I know guys, you're fishing. I know you're going and you got work to do. You got a job. You got a family to feed. But I'm telling you, if you want to experience life, Andrew, you need to turn and come and go with me. Peter, right now, come on and go with me. And these guys said, okay, we'll go. And then those guys, man, what they got to experience. I mean, Peter is the only other guy on this earth that I know that walked on water. I come close a couple of times, but I mean, it's just because I was scared of a snake. But then, not only that, I mean, do you realize that these are the same guys that got to see Jesus when He walked in and he yelled out to Lazarus, He says, Lazarus, come forth. And a dead man that had been there for 3 days, got up and walked out alive. He was also there. All these guys were there when Jesus was talking to the multitudes, and then they were on the side of the mountain. And they looked at Him and says, Master, we've got to feed these guys. But the only people that are here that's got anything is this little boy, and he's just got a little bit of fish and a little bit of bread. How are we going to do that? He says, bring me what you got. Bring me what you got. And at that moment, Jesus took that. And the Bible says that these guys left. These people, these 5,000 men and their families, which is over 12,000 people, left full and carrying a to-go box. So you know that these guys had to look and say, this dude is unbelievable. Look at what he does. Man, he don't get mad. He don't get upset. Man, he don't jump on people when they pull out in front of him. Man, he don't yell and do all this other stuff. He is so busy about His Father's work. Man, He's got to be just what He says He is, the Messiah. But see, as Jesus grew and He began to do all these miracles and all these amazing things began to happen, there were some people that didn't like it. It really, really threatened their pride, threatened their way of life, and they didn't know what to do. So they panicked. And there was a man that he said, I'm not taking this, and so I'm going to get rid of him. Go arrest him right now. Matter of fact, I know exactly where he is because one of the guys that was with him come to him and said, hey, you need to go get him. He's over in the garden praying. And they sent out a posse of guards, and the guards come into the Garden of Gethsemane and where Jesus was praying. But see, Jesus knew that there was something fixing to happen. He knew that His time on this earth was coming to an end. He knew that this job that God had for Him to do, this very purpose that He was born on this Christmas day, this thing that we celebrate Christmas, was the beginning of death. Death that would take place in His life. And He saw it coming and He knew what was going to happen. It wasn't the death that was scaring Him. It wasn't the death that He was afraid of. It wasn't the death that He did not want to deal with. It was something else. It was sin. It was sin. He was basically going to have to go to battle with the Satan. He was going to have to fight. He was going to have to fight for me. He's going to have to fight for you. He's going to have to take it all on. Not just my sin, your sin. Not just your sin, but everybody's sin. The sin of the world. I'm talking about death row. I'm talking about murderers, rapists. I'm talking about child pornography. I'm talking about it all. I'm talking about the bad stuff. And even the common white lie. And He took that sin. He knew it was going to be just unbelievable. He had to take that sin. And He was in the garden and He was praying. He was lifting it up. He said, God, please, Father, I know that You've got me to do this job. And I know that I want to, Father, and I want to be about You, God. But if You could just take this cup away from me. Take this right now just away from me. I sure would appreciate it. And something that I've learned from Jesus in this is He listened to His Father. He stopped for a minute to hear what God had to tell Him. And He said, I know. I know I've got to be about Your business and about Your will. The guards come into the garden and man, there's Peter, man. That's my boy. Peter was like, I know I've been sleeping, God, and I know I've been falling down and haven't been doing the things I need to do. And God, I know I'm letting You down right now, Jesus, but hey, I'm supposed to take care of You right here. I got You back, Jesus, right here. Hey, You're not taking my Lord. You're not taking Him. Peter popped up, man, he was ready, boy. He was ready to go. He whipped out his sword. One of those guards took a step toward Jesus, man, he just whack! And He cut his ear off. And there goes Jesus again. Doing what Jesus does. He just looked at him and said, hey, Peter, now's not the time. And He reached down and He took the ear of that guard. That guy was panicking. That guy was like, man, what am I going to do now? I'll never wear glasses. And He took that ear and He put it right back on and it was fine. And you know what blows my mind about that, guys? Why didn't they question that? Why didn't those guards right there in that setting go, surely this is the King of Kings. Look what He just did. Because they had a job to do. As they carried Jesus back before Pilate, and he began to, and Sarsus, he sat up there before him, and they're getting ready to judge him, and they're getting ready to decide what they're going to do. So what they're going to do is we're going to crucify you, and we're going to carry you through the worst beating of your life.